Hey everyone, welcome back to Shrey FC. I hope you all are well. You're good. To be really honest, I'm not really good. Like Eden Hazard is retired, and it hurts. It hurts because he's one of my favorite footballers that I've watched. And coming on to Anurag Bhai, a special guest from Sports Freak. First of all, before I go, you have to go there and subscribe. Go to there, Anurag Bhai. If you're a true football lover, you go there and subscribe for tactical analysis. Anurag Bhai, how are you doing?
I'm doing very fine. How are you, man? How are you? How are you?
I'm very good, Anurag.
By the way, yeah, sad for you guys, isn't it? Sad for every Chelsea fan, especially those who are watching Chelsea games, Chelsea matches for the last 10 or 15 years. So very sad for them. I think I know the how much. I think you all are in pain because I know after Leo Messi left Barcelona, I was in a terrible pain. So I think it must be a case of a huge pain for you guys. So I can understand it, but it's too early. The player like him, the level of player like him in the age of 32, he's leaving football and he's saying farewell to the world of football. I think it's pathetic. It's pathetic for a level of player like him. To me, he's the best left winger ever existed on planet Earth. No head for Cristiano Ronaldo, no head for Neymar, but I think to me, because I'm a tactical analyst, to me, I think he is one of the best left winger I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, like that's an absolute big praise, my brother, and it makes me even hurt because I love Eden Hazard. And in this video, we're gonna discuss in detail some great iconic moments Eden Hazard had. We're gonna discuss some great things about Eden Hazard. People, do let me know in the chat your Eden Hazard memories and your views in that. So coming on to the slides now, we're gonna take on the topics today. So, Anurag bhai, like this is the three photos I've compiled, and Rajiv asked me in the chat. Big up, my brother. So good to see you, my brother. Thank you so much to support the channel. Big up, brother. And this is the photo of Eden Hazard's club career legacy from Lille to Chelsea to Real Madrid. Anurag, bhai, before we go to the next slide, what do you make of this evolution of Eden?
I have a lot of things to tell. I have a lot of things to tell. First of all, I can say everything in a single slide. But I just want to say you something. I just want to tell you something, inform you something, because Eden Hazard is one of my favorite player. So the thing is that Eden Hazard, I think 1 year ago, I was searching for Eden Hazard biography. I used to see every goal of Eden Hazard. I used to see every shots of Eden Hazard, and you can say me, I'm a orator of his biography because I like that man so much. I think every Chelsea fans at the time of Lampard or Drogba used to love them and cherish them so much. But to me, I think Eden Hazard is one of my favorite player of all time. And no disregard, man, because he went to Madrid and he broke my heart that time because I wanted him in Madrid, but I think his childhood dream was to play for Madrid. So I will not comment on it. But I think before going to Lille, I think during his childhood, I think when he was 4 to 5 years old, he used to play for Royal Stade Renois, and then he moved to AFC Tubize, and then he moved to Lille. So before moving to Lille, before playing for Lille, I think he played for two clubs, and a lot of you guys don't know about it. And after Rudy Garcia arrived at Lille, okay, and he has done some tremendous. After 2008 or 2009, I think Rudy Garcia makes him a permanent player, and the height of respect he got from Rudy Garcia was tremendous. Just the way Pep loves Messi, Rudy Garcia used to love Eden Hazard. And I think we are not forgetting that he was the League One Player of the Year in the year of 2010 or 11 season, and he was the Player of the Year too for the League One. And I think Lille win the League One for the first time, if I'm not wrong, after 2000 or 2005. So to me, his performance in Lille was very good, and you know that his farewell match, his last match for Lille, he scored a hat trick over there, even after drinking alcohol and having a party for the whole night. He scored a hat trick. I think this shows that by the level of player, the dedication of the player, though people of League One used to call him a lazy player, has no etiquette about work, but I think this is pure magic, no? And the same thing I just say about Messi. कि यार he मतलब practice कम and performance ज़्यादा, isn't it? So I think this is his story on Lille. This is his story of rising of Eden Hazard, and then he moved to Chelsea. You guys know, but then do you? And what do you think about his performance in League One and Lille? Any memory of yours?
I think for me, Anurag Bhai, he was outstanding. He was outstanding. Like even when I used to watch him sometimes in Lille, and before he was coming to Chelsea, he was excited as a kid. I was watching his any video I can find because I was a kid at that time, so YouTube was not the YouTube it used to be. So Eden
Can you
Hazard
believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? A teenager became the player of the year and the League One player of the year. Can you believe it? In his first season. Can you believe it? A teenager. We're not talking about Yamal and other stuff. Yeah, I also appreciate Yamal a lot. But I think a player from that of his caliber and after going from AFC 2Bs to Lille, I think phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal. Absolute legend. Absolute legend.
absolutely agree, Anurag Bhai. And taking some chats. Bigger to Ashish Bhai, Sanjeev in the chat. I'm a La Liga fan and never watched him playing in EPL. But bro, wherever you watch him, you will know how good that boy was. Wishing him best of luck for his next chapter. Thank you so much and big up to Keshav Bhai. And for me, I agree with Anurag with the evolution of this boy coming from Lille, then to Chelsea. And I go to the next slide now for his evolution of his career. And now this is the thing that I will never forget as a kid because I knew we were linked with Eden Hazard even before the Champions League final. I knew that we had to win the final, and we won the Champions League final against Bayern Munich in their own area. Anurag is a Wikipedia, bro. He's an absolute Wikipedia, and that is why I will tell you to go and subscribe to Sport Free. But Anurag bhai, this tweet, 28 May 2012. This is one of the best announcement video I'll ever see in my life.
By the way, United and City were also after him. You know, they want to sign him like anything. In 2012, they want to sign him like anything, and I think he was the
wanted him to sign for Arsenal.
Yeah. And I think in 2011-12 season, Chelsea just after Chelsea won the UCL, I think Chelsea signed him, isn't it? And I think he was the Europa, and I think he won the Europa League for you guys against Benfica, if I'm not wrong. If my memory is very correct and right, he won the Europa League for you against Benfica.
He was injured for the
match. He was injured for. But Chelsea won the Europa League, isn't it? After that, against Benfica. Yeah. And I think other things were very going well for him, but then the controversy of the ball boy kick again, I think Swansea in EFL Cup, if I'm not wrong. Then controversies just got hated him like anything for 1 year or 2 years. But I think, you know, to be a bigger player of his caliber, to be a player of that caliber, you have to get surrounded by controversies, isn't it? Only we have seen Lionel Messi with no controversy, nothing at all. But I think the great move to Chelsea. I think great move because he chose Chelsea, isn't it? Even after Manchester United and City offered a lot of money to him, but he chose Chelsea.
He chose Chelsea, and at that time, every club in the world was like, I understand the pain of Keshav Bhai because I know the rivals, I know respectfully you love him, but I think the moments he had against every club was just outstanding for me as a person watching football at that time. I won't say he was one of the best legends at Chelsea. See, we can go on long and long, but we have had some amazing players. But in terms of pure footballing skills, I don't think I can remember a boy so talented, so good to watch. And this is for me will remain always an iconic announcement from the player himself. Now coming on to Eden Hazard debut, I remember this really, really well. But asking Anurag Bhai, do you remember this debut from Eden Hazard against the Wigan?
Very well, very well. Because that time I used to watch La Liga very much. Only 2 or 3 players. Sometimes I used to watch EPL, and why not? But only 2 or 3 players that time were, they were talking about Eden Hazard. And by the way, why you are not talking about 2013-14 season? Why you are not talking about the 2013-14 season? He was the PFA player, I think. The joint nomination is Luis Suarez, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not, correct me.
Yeah, he lost it.
But he was the Chelsea player of the year too, isn't it? In 2013-14 season. And I think he has also got the Ballon d'Or nomination that time, but I think he became 8th in the nomination list, if I'm not wrong. But I think it was a great start. But it was a great start for him in 2013-14 season. But in the next season, in the 2015 season, I think his performance got degraded. But in 2014-15 season, if I'm not wrong, and I was checking it few hour ago, he got 19 goals for Chelsea and 13 assists for Chelsea, isn't it?
I think
and he won the Premier League. Chelsea won the Premier League in 5 years in that season. After 5 years, Chelsea won the Premier League, and he was also PFL Player of the Year too. I think, if I'm not wrong, in 2014-15 season, because
he won in 2014-15 and Kante won in 16-17.
Because after that, in 2015-16 season, I think Mourinho was got sacked in 2015-16 season, if I'm not wrong. It was
Yeah.
because he didn't play it so well. He scored only 6 goals. I remember it very well. There was a heading in Times of India. The prince is what is drowning slowly, slowly, slowly. But that's the characteristics of a legend. When you will predict, when you will criticize a legend, he will perform much more better the next season. But this was not the case of Eden Hazard in Real Madrid. Though I'm coming to Real Madrid after some time. But in Chelsea, I think in 2015-16 season, he helped the Leicester City. He helped Leicester City in winning the EPL, I think. Though, I think, and also Eden Hazard missed a penalty against Stoke City, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah. But another like
If I'm not
overall,
wrong.
no, I mean, I'm not sure of that. But to be really honest, see, for me in this slide, first of all, I want to tell the way he started his Chelsea career. For me, this was one of the most exciting debut I've seen as a Chelsea fan. I was off my seat. I was because I had a soft spot on Vegan as well, but he just started his debut so well. And then after that, then we went on that season. People forget we went on to the Europa League because Eden Hazard scored from 25 yards against Sparta. We were 1-0 down at Stamford Bridge. It was 1-1 on aggregate and it was going to extra time. Eden Michael Hazard went there and scored the goal. And that's a very big moment as well. And taking some chats here because people will say you talk a lot. So we'll discuss on this later in the video, Keshav Bhai. There's a lot Eden Hazard to discuss. We can go on for 5 hours, but Anurag Bhai and me have to sleep as well. And there is work ethic, yeah. And Hazard is better than Salah. I don't want to get in fight with Liverpool fans, but big up Red Devil stand. People do subscribe to his channel. And Eden Michael Hazard is best for me. Hello Shrey Bhai, hello Anurag Bhai. Big up Predator Gaming. People do subscribe to his channel. So this was a very big moment in Europa League, but Sally was injured for the final. But we went on to win the Europa League. But as Anurag Bhai went to 2013-14 season, I wanted to bring this slide up here for Eden Hazard of the 13-14 season. Eden Hazard first Chelsea hat trick against Newcastle in 13-14 season.
Newcastle.
Yeah. What do you remember of that season over Eden Hazard? Because for me, he was just like a baby growing up to more maturity.
Baby growing up, and that guy, not only baby growing up, that season he was the Chelsea Player of the Year. Don't forget, and that hat trick I remembered it quite well. Though I'm a huge fan of La Liga, and I've started. I used to give my full concentration and focus to La Liga, but every day, even after when I used to switch on to the FP that time, there was only Messi pick and Hazard pick. Messi, Hazard, Messi, Hazard, Messi, Hazard. So see my last chat. Shriva,
Yeah. I think he was asking for the best goal, but I think we'll discuss later because we have a lot of goals to discuss. Another keep going on 13-14 season.
13-14 season, I think his performance against Newcastle, and I've also, if I'm not wrong, I think his performance, I think I'm getting it wrong, yeah. The match with Arsenal or Tottenham, I'm just forgetting it. I think in 13-14 season, the match with Arsenal or...
I think we beat Tottenham 4-0 and we beat Arsenal
4-0. One second, let me check. Let me check it.
Yeah,
the match I'm talking about, and he has the best goal over there. And hey, just give me a second.
Wow,
I'm just talking about it.
Chelsea YouTube channel has started 24/7 live stream of every goal scored by Eden Hazard. Wow, man. That is what. Ashish, I'll see you last year because we'll discuss later in the video of great iconic Eden Hazard moments. So I think a lot of that will be clear.
Chelsea used to that time. Chelsea at that time used to play with 4-2-3. If I'm not wrong, I'm just getting it about that, which helps Hazard a lot in that season. By the way, I didn't remember a single game, but I'm just getting it. But by the way, the season was very remarkable for him, which won him a Ballon d'Or nomination. I remember it quite well. And I think a match against Arsenal, the match was against Tottenham. You are very right. His brightest performance in that season, I think, was against Tottenham. One of the brightest performance. And you can imagine that. Yes, correct. Okay, but I think, yeah. bright season. That was a very bright season. I think 2013 and 2014 season was very bright, but 2015-16 season I remembered it quite well. It was not very good for him. I think he had scored only 6 goals that time with 8 assists. And I think in the year of 2015-16 season, Mourinho got sacked from Chelsea due to that season. And also he missed a penalty against Stoke City. And मैं भूल नहीं सकता. I remembered it quite well. He missed a penalty against Stoke City. But Hazard's goal against Tottenham. I think that was the iconic match. His goal against Tottenham, which fetched Leicester City, Jamie Vardy, their Premier League title. The match was against Tottenham. I remembered it quite well.
Absolutely, and we'll discuss it in the video as well because so many things that Eden Hazard are covered. Hazard was the one who changed the game every bit. He was bro, like he was not just about scoring goals. The guy was one of the best footballers I used to watch. The dribble and especially
I think for people who are just 18 years old now, or people like Darren who is not in the chat, I think people who are say 17 or 18 years old, I think who didn't saw Drogba playing, I think for them Hazard was a god. For them Hazard was a god, because I think you guys always talk about Lampard, you guys always talk about Drogba, you guys talk about Terry. I think I just want to say something by, if you watch Eden Hazard was something else till 2018 too. He was something else, man. He was something else, especially in the World Cup too. He was something else. A kind of left winger like him. I haven't seen a left winger like him. And before his injury, I think he was something else, man. He was a beast. He was a beast. People always talk about that ball boy kick, agera, vagera, dinkana, falana, but I think he was a beast. That time he was a beast.
He was Anurag Bhai, and for me, to be really honest, I think this was a big hat trick for him at the start. His 2013-14 season against Newcastle. And I think this was a season where he was developing but not really reached to the right level. And 2013, Isak should have won the Ballon d'Or. I still don't agree with that. He was great. But I think Ballon d'Or, to be honest, there were so many more candidates above him, to be honest. And Anurag Bhai now going on to the season that Chelsea went on to win the league. More clinical as it arrived. We went on to win the Premier League, Anurag Bhai. And Anurag Bhai, what do you think, like, development he made from 13-14 season to 14-15 season? What did you at that time make as a fan of Eden Hazard?
We're talking about which season?
2014-15 season.
2014-15 season, I think he scored 19 goals and I think 15 assists, if I'm not wrong, because that time we all used to follow Eden Hazard a lot. But I think Chelsea has won the Premier League in 5 years, because Chelsea ne UCL jeet liya tha, and I think they won the Premier League in 5 years. And his excellent performance, and he was going under Mourinho tactics. I think he used him like anything. Mourinho used him like anything, be it in the left wing, be it in the attacking midfielder position. Sometimes Eden Hazard, I remembered it quite well, but I've forgotten because itne din te main to nahi dekhta tha Chelsea ka game. But I think I've forgotten. Sometimes he was in the forward, sometimes in the midfield. I think Mourinho used him like anything in 2014-15 season, and he was a key player in winning. Take second. Yeah. And he was a key player in winning the EPL. I think without him, Chelsea couldn't have faced the EPL that season. I think it's my personal decision. It's my personal decision. Wait a second, chat is coming. It is my personal decision. I think without him, Chelsea could have won the EPL. Trust me.
Agree. I think he was just very good that season. Our counter attack, our goal against Manchester United. We remember very well. United had 70% possession. We had 30. But like classic Mourinho side, we went on to win the game and we beat Manchester United 1-0 in that game. Big up to it, skill people. Do go and subscribe to his channel. Great content. And Prasad Bro will come to the 2-2 draw later in the video. Great. That was one of the most iconic matches that I can remember as a Chelsea fan. The rivalry.
No, the iconic match was, I think, of that goal of Oscar and Diego Costa, isn't it?
Oscar and Diego Costa? No, I think it was Eden Hazard and Costa combining for the 2-2 draw. Because we had a shite season and then we went on to deny Tottenham the Premier League title. And I think as fans, it was a big one for us because players had made us lose the trust. Mourinho getting sacked. The fans were angry.
No, Mourinho was getting sacked in 2015, I think. Mourinho was getting sacked. Yeah. And he missed the penalty.
Yeah, we were like in 16th rank, I remember. We had 15 points from 16 games. And it was going downhill. Goose hitting came, it never worked. Every player came over fat. And then we went on to one of the most iconic matches. This was this one. We were facing Tottenham and Anurag Bhai 2-0 down at halftime. Then Gary Cahill got us back 1-2. And then Eden, Michael Hazard, Costa combining for the 2-2, the celebration. Anurag Bhai, now the floor is yours. this moment by Eden Hazard and this beautiful goal.
I've already mentioned about this match, so I don't talk about it. But I think this moment in his life is just about cherish and nothing else. This is the greatest moment in his life, and I think he made Chelsea own the Premier League for the second time in this season. And I think he was with 17 goals and 7 assists in 2016 season, if I'm not wrong. I think you should describe about this moment.
Hmm.
But I think the most remarkable. Acha, when was that match of 3-0 against Leicester City?
3-0 was next season. The 3-0 win against Leicester was next season.
Okay, what do you remember about this season? Your iconic match in 2016 season.
I think to be really honest, Anurag Bhai, 2016 iconic match was this one. It was Manchester City 1, Chelsea 3, the 13-match winning streak. We shifted to a back three. We were not having a good season. We lost to Arsenal 3-0. The manager says, F it. He goes to a back three, 3-4-3. And then we went on to the Etihad Stadium. Eden Hazard's third goal, I will never forget. He runs there. He blasts the ball into the net. And the sound comes, goal. We celebrated. Manchester City 1, Chelsea 3. And we went on to win the Premier League title. Anurag Bhai, now coming on again to you on 16-17 season. Eden Hazard and Antonio Conte. What do you make of him? Because for me, this was one of the most dangerous Hazard I saw at Chelsea in terms of pace, dribbling, the finishing he got. What's your opinion on this, Anurag Bhai?
About 2016 Conte season.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing that you guys are missing about that season is that Conte used to play with 3-4-2-1, which gives Hazard the hazardous impact in the world of football and especially in EPL. Because he was playing with 3-4-2-1, if I'm not wrong. Though I have made a fact, and I think, just give me 1 second. No, Conte with, I think the most impactful formation was 3-4-3. I've just checked it now. I've just forgotten it, which gave Eden Hazard a very good impact in the left wing, as well as he was coming in the attacking midfield position that time very well. And I think Hazard was in his prime in this season. I've forgotten the matches, but I think Hazard was in his prime under Conte. The most dangerous Hazard I've ever seen in my life. But the thing is that I think Hazard in that time used to do a little bit of track back under Conte. That was the negativity of his gameplay over there. और जितना मुझे याद है actually, उतना तो मैं EPL slowly तब देखना बंद करता था. But I think Conte Hazard combination was an epic and very right. Conte Hazard combination was hazardous in the world of football. And also Conte switched to 3-4-2-1 just for Hazard to play. मतलब वो 3-4-3 से बंदा खेलता था. Just for Hazard he switched to 3-4-2-1. I remembered it quite well. And at that time in college,
in 2016, 4-0 against Manchester United at Stamford Bridge on the day of Diwali.
I'm also checking it.
We beat Manchester 4-0, and Eden Hazard played a big part in the game. Iconic 2016-17 season. He was such important. And again, Anurag, we were chatting before the video as well, before starting, that there were so many games where he did not get a goal or an assist, but he was the main part for us to go and win the games. This is what Eden Hazard.
In 2016-14, he played, I think, 43 games. I was checking it, and he scored 17 goals and 7 assists. But I think by assists and scoring goals is not a way that like way these days people used to celebrate about Erling Haaland. He scores a lot. But I think Eden Hazard, be it in World Cup, with that assists against Panama or against Japan or against that performance against England in World Cup, which fetched the bronze medal for Eden Hazard in World Cup, I think. And the third place for Belgium. I think it's not about scoring goals. If you see Hazard, I think to me, I can be very wrong. I think to me, he is the best left winger I've ever seen. He's the best left winger. And I think huge respect for Ronaldo and Neymar. But of course, at that time, he was a beast. And people sometimes compare him with Sterling. People compare him with Yevo. But I think, because I have to go very quickly, I have a shoot. So I just want to tell you, before that injury, Hazard was something else. 1 second.
And now coming on a bit of comments.
WhatsApp.
Sure. Derain Bhai, Streets won't forget Oscar Mata Hazard trio, but Derain Bhai, sadly, Mourinho got rid of Juan Mata and we never got to see that. That's a regret I got. I always wanted to see Juan Mata and Hazard play together for a long time. We only saw it for 1.5 seasons and then Mata went on. But I have to say, the time Martin Hazard played, we were beautiful, man. We were an absolute beautiful team to watch. Hazard was more than a streets won't forget player. He was like, to be really honest, this is one thing which I have a gripe with current generation. I think today's player, as much as I see, we become excessively tactical, where the players are not like for me
Have you
expressing
remember?
themselves.
Have you remembered the Hazard's match against Iber and Sociedad? If I'm not wrong.
No, that time I was not following La Liga a lot. But for me, Anurag bhai, one thing I do say is Eden Hazard was a player of his generation because right now I think the tactics, the data have come too much that the players right now love to have a bit of passing, touching, and going around. But Eden Hazard was a footballer who used to say, "F it, give me the ball, and I'm going to do anything with it." Like there was a report, which again I'm not saying I know, I'm sure of it, but there was a thing that Eden Hazard drank a lot on before a little game. He drank whole night. He went on the pitch and he cooked the other team's player. A lot of players
He
used to
scored
say,
hat trick. He scored hat trick. He scored hat trick. Not took other team play. He scored hat trick in that game. I
okay,
remembered it quite well.
and his hips. Players used to say, defenders used to say, this boy was small, but his hips. It always used to turn them around and used to embarrass them. Bigger
By the way, Hazard couldn't have got into Chelsea. और हम लोग आज बोल रहे हैं ना कि ये Hazard है. This is Hazard. Eden Hazard. You guys would have only listened to his name if Rudy Garcia didn't have given him a chance in Lille. Well, Rudy Garcia
Yeah.
is a key figure behind Eden Hazard's success. I must say, Rudy Garcia is the key figure behind this iconic Eden Hazard, the characteristics of Eden Hazard, like Pep Guardiola for Messi, or I think Klopp for Lewandowski. I think Rudy Garcia, we are underestimating Lille's Rudy Garcia because after Rudy Garcia joined Lille, I think Eden Hazard's career must have taken into a direct upward acceleration into somewhat level. Hmm.
Absolutely. Anurag, when people again, I will say, do go and subscribe to Sports Free. You won't get this Wikipedia knowledge anywhere. He is a moving brain of Wikipedia. He's
No,
playing
no,
at
no,
a level.
not nowadays because I didn't used to watch EPL for the last 4 or 5 years because I am very much into La Liga. I am very much into UCL. मैं अब यार 3-4 साल से मैं EPL नहीं देखता, so I am not a Wikipedia anymore. But these are memories to cherish, no? In college life, after I was in BTech and in second year or third year, people used to talk about Messi and Hazard, and of course, Ronaldo fans used to talk about Ronaldo. But after यार जब Ronaldo ने Madrid छोड़ दिया, people started comparing Eden Hazard with Ronaldo. Can you believe it? आजकल के बच्चे नहीं जानते. People used to compare Eden Hazard with Ronaldo. यार आ गया replacement आ गया. The replacement has finally arrived. And from that time, I think साइड से मैं नहीं जा सकता क्योंकि मुझे अब जल्दी मैं एक प्रॉमिस कर चुका हूँ किसी को एक शूटिंग के बारे में. So I think his career got. I think Real Madrid destroyed one of Chelsea's sons and the greatest iconic legend of Chelsea, Real Madrid. No hate for Real Madrid fans and Real Madrid club. Though I'm a Barcelona content creator, but no hate for it. But I think people will agree with me. Real Madrid destroyed Chelsea's Achilles and Hector.
And I think this is one of the most iconic goals I can remember. I was just coming back from my tuitions, the 12th and bored and the stress.
I remembered it quite well.
And
I
I came
remembered it
back,
quite well.
we were 1-0 up. Alonso sadly hit his a bit of arm on Bellerin and he was taken to hospital, so he was fine. And then we were struggling in the game, not playing really good. Then Eden Hazard takes the ball, runs from the halfway line, cooks Laurent Koscielny, sorry for bad pronunciation, then Pockle in, and then goes on and scores that beautiful goal. Knee slides. Oh my god, I'll cry on the stream. That is a goal I will never forget. That was one of the most iconic goals of the talent this boy used to have. And Jose Mourinho used to say, protect Eden Hazard. The referee should protect him, but he was tackled, bleeding every time, and sadly the career went on downhill. But Anurag Bhai, your memory of one of the most iconic goal that I watched in my life, Anurag Bhai, your views on the iconic goal.
I think when he shook off Francis Coquelin before chipping Peter Cech, I think by this goal was something else. I think. But by the way, I haven't seen the live match, but I have seen this goal in the YouTube short. So I think my iconic goal will be. My iconic goal is something else of Eden Hazard. I think it's not about Premier League. It's not about UCL. My iconic goal. I think it was not a very excellent goal, but I think in Man United versus Chelsea, Hazard's penalty, which won the FA Cup for Chelsea in 2017-18 season. That was my iconic goal of Eden Hazard. I think you guys will be making fun of me, but I think I hated Man United so much. I think that FA Cup goal was Eden Hazard's iconic goal for me. I think you will be making fun of me, but I think to me, that was an iconic goal for me. That day, I remembered it quite well. I was so much frustrated, and I was watching this match with my United friends who are big fans of Ronaldo and Real Madrid. So that goal for me is iconic for me, because iconic depends in perception, isn't it? People's perception. That goal is iconic goal for me in the FA Cup final. And you just provided the slide for me. And I think Eden Hazard in 2017-18 season, this match was everything in 2017-18 season.
Absolutely, it was a big match, and he got a big penalty in the game. And we went on to win the final as well, beat Manchester United in a horrific season. And now, because Anurag Bhai has to go, we'll slowly go on to the next topics as well. And this is
Now 2018-19, you are missing the 2018-19 season where he won the Europa again.
No, I will come to that, because before that, before the season started, Eden Hazard had one of the best World Cup. This is a picture that I found, which is iconic, of the World Cup this guy was having.
I remembered it quite well. I am an Argentina fan. I was praying that Brazil, I was just praying that Brazil har jaye. And I know that that day Neymar was not playing. Neymar was injured, if I'm not wrong. In that day, Lukaku scored, and I think Fellaini scored and Hazard scored. Hazard scored.
I think Hazard did score, if I'm not, my memory, man.
Lukaku scored a goal against Brazil. I remembered it quite well. The World Cup that France win, and we lost to France in, I think, in round of 16. 4-3 was the result. A goal of Pavard thrashed Argentina, perished Argentina from the World Cup. I think I was, after Argentina, I was supporting Belgium, of course. And that performance of Eden Hazard, Fellaini, Martins, Lukaku, that time you guys make fun of Lukaku these days, you say Lukaku or something else like this. But I think Kevin De Bruyne, yes, correct, Keshav, Kevin De Bruyne, Hazard was something else. I think he got the silver ball in World Cup, if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong. In 2018, he got the silver ball. And Belgium came third. But this golden generation of Belgium, just like golden generation of England, just destroyed for egos and clash of Courtois versus Kevin De Bruyne. I think they should have won the World Cup that time. But France was unstoppable, no? Kante, Pogba, Mbappe. Mbappe was rising at that time. Griezmann was in form. Pavard was in form. But I think we are not talking about the Munir tackle of Eden Hazard that destroyed his career, and even in Real Madrid, I think we are not talking about that tackle, his injury. But I think I just want to add something more about the World Cup. His performance against Panama, his performance against Japan, his performance against England, his assists against England. I think he was a key. He and Kevin De Bruyne are the key figures for them only. That I think Belgium came third in the World Cup season. Croatia and Belgium were the underdogs at that time. They were not very famous. And even though in 2014 season you were missing that point, Hazard played very well in World Cup, but thrashed by Argentina in quarterfinal, I think.
Quarterfinals. But Anurag Bhai, this World Cup I think was the one where I think he won so many people and he showed his talent on the world class stage. But now, going on to the wish of my brother Anurag Bhai, coming to the season that Anurag Bhai has been telling me to, how much this boy speaks, how many slides. But now we are back to the business one. This is the stat people need to remember. Assist 15, number 1. Chances created, open play, number 1. Dribbles.
He scored 21 goals. He scored 21 goals that season. He scored 21 goals.
But in the Premier League it was 15. So in Premier League he had 15 goals, 15 assists. And these are the stats in Anurag Bhai that season on the Premier League football. And he was
Europa, considering Europa.
No disrespect, Gonzalo Higuain as a striker, Giroud and Alvaro Morata.
I think we shouldn't talk about Morata. He's an offside man. I don't want to talk about him. And I think Giroud is also an underrated player. But I think this season I thought Eden Hazard will not get any trophy, something like this and this. But he, again, I think won the Europa for you guys, if I'm not wrong, for the second time. He won the Europa for... I think Eden Hazard has given everything for Chelsea. And even if today guys are cherishing Peter Cech, Drogba, and everyone else, but I think why he's the most underrated player. Like the way you were talking to me at evening, that Azpilicueta will be the much more greater legend than Eden Hazard because he played for much more time than Hazard. But I think 7 years he has given Chelsea everything. Even after their UCL win, he arrived in the club. But I think he has given everything to Chelsea. Everything.
No, I agree.
मैं चाहता था कि वो चेल्सी पे स्टे कर जाए and 2021 में वो हैवर्ट्स ने जो गोल मारा, the Champions League winning goal, I think अगर वो Eden Hazard दे देता, that would be a complete story. Like Messi का complete story है.
Exactly. Problem यही है कि I love Eden Hazard And मेरे लिए as a footballer, he will be one of the best player I've seen at Chelsea because sadly I didn't know the privilege to watch Zola, but I had the privilege. Thank you to God that I was alive in a time where I was able to see Eden Hazard. But I think why I said SP is I think if Eden Hazard stayed for 2-3 years more at Chelsea, the legacy would have been embedded. And I think he might have won the Champions League trophy at Real Madrid, but not winning it at Chelsea will always hurt because this is a trophy that really eluded him. And Eden Hazard was such a loyal player. This is one thing I want to tell people who will say he's unloyal to Chelsea. In 18-19 season, Real Madrid wanted him. Like he said to Real Madrid, Chelsea promised him.
But you are forgetting his iconic goal. That's the iconic goal against Liverpool. I remembered it quite well in 2018-19 season. Carabao Cup, his goal against Liverpool. How can I forget that? Man, he scored against Liverpool. It was his iconic. Yes, that was his iconic goal. I'm sorry, not a penalty he scored for winning the FA Cup in the previous season. But I think his goal.
Yeah.
But I think his goal against Liverpool in Carabao Cup in 18-19 season and the way Real Madrid were just after Eden Hazard, but he did, that goal I think is an iconic goal in 18-19 season against Liverpool in Carabao Cup. Correct.
Absolutely, and I think overall, I think that season it was fabulous. Like the way he was doing everything, and people keep on coming on this like GNA. I do want to come to this one, and I think I'll clear this debate forever. I think where is that comment? Where is that comment, my brother? This one. See, I will always say I won't even say Hazard is better than Salah because for me, goals are also important as well. I will never go and disgrace Mohamed Salah's legacy. He's a player we disgraced. He's a player we should have respected.
How can you even compare Mohamed Salah with Eden Hazard? How can you compare? He's the king of left hand side. He's the king of right hand side. So how can you compare it?
No. Premier League fans have this like. I won't say that word, but Premier League fans have this thing.
One thing. Eden Hazard in his after coming to Chelsea, when Chelsea has won the Champions League, he didn't got a stable team comparing to Salah because Salah had a lot of brilliant players with him. Mane, and I think Mane and a manager like Klopp and Salah got everything in England. For me, no. Why? How can you compare Eden Hazard? Eden Hazard, if he got a team like Liverpool, what Salah got in Liverpool, if he was provided with that 10 players, Eden Hazard could have fetched UCL again for Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. How can you compare Salah with Eden Hazard? But I think to me, with due respect to Liverpool fans and Mohamed Salah, I'm a huge fan of Salah too. Hazard to me was better than Salah in some places. Hazard was better than Salah in some places and areas if I see the matches in tactical.
And this is why I respect Anurag Bhai. He's such a calm person and he's also such good in his takes that I respect him so much. And this is why I brought a neutral fan. This is why I brought Anurag Bhai. This is why I brought my brother because he knows about these things so well. Sir, Premier League was convenient. I think I will always be sad at Jose because I think at that time he ruined Mata, he ruined Salah, he ruined KDB. Chelsea, for me, people make movies on Avengers. What if? I will want to make a movie on Chelsea. What if? If Pep Guardiola came on and that time we wanted him and he rejected us. What if? But now I know Anurag Bhai has to go. We go to the last slide and one of the most important slide to discuss. His career now.
No, I will take time for this. First of all, 100 million euros and 400,000 pounds per week he signed for Real Madrid for this reason. And I think it could have, he was been signed for 100 million euros or something else, but it could have get into a height of 146 million euros too if he performed well in Real Madrid. His performance was excellent for Real Madrid. Excellent. But the thing changed, I think, the match of PSG versus Madrid, if I'm not wrong. PSG
was Madrid. That was the right one.
PSG versus Madrid, and in the second half, I think the tackle of Munir and his ankle injury destroyed everything. And first of all, after that, Ronaldo left Madrid. People were demanding ke yaar Ronaldo ka jaisa player mil jaye. And they have started comparing Ronaldo with Hazard. So Hazard was under tremendous pressure, but he was showing some excellent performance. And his performance against Eibar and Real Sociedad, and he was the man of the match against Eibar and Real Sociedad in La Liga. You don't, guys, आजकल के बच्चे नहीं जानते. आजकल के बच्चे नहीं जानते कि La Liga में Hazard has shown some excellent performances in his initial days. He got मैन ऑफ द मैच अगेंस्ट आइवर, बिकॉज मैं भाई ला लीगा में स्कैन करता हूँ, सिर्फ ला लीगा में देखता नहीं, मेरा मेमोरी पे स्कैन रहता है. अगेंस्ट आइवर एंड रियल सोसिएदाद ही गॉट एमओटीएम ट्वाइस फॉर रियल मैड्रिड, क्योंकि हम सब ऐसे देखते थे कि भाई ये क्या करेगा हैजार्ड, ये क्या करेगा, अरे यार रोनाल्डो गया हम बच गए यार, यूवेंटस पे गया अब यार फिर से हैजार्ड आ गया. बट फ्रॉम दैट सेकंड हाफ against PSG, Real Madrid versus PSG, the tackle of Munir and destruction of his ankle, I destroyed his career. और तुम रियल मैड्रिड फैंस को जानते हो भाई कि क्या करेंगे, परफॉर्मेंस नहीं है तो भागो यार, तुम यू आर अ लेजेंड तुम इन माय आईज, लेकिन तुम परफॉर्मेंस नहीं दे सकते, तुम कचरा हो भाई. And I think it proved to be a greatest flop of Real Madrid signings, one of the greatest flop. But I think उस दिन अगर मुनियर ने यार वो टैकल नहीं मारा होता against PSG, nobody, I think nobody, and that's true. Suddenly यार हम सोच रहे थे यार हैजार्ड तो बहुत अच्छा खेलता है, हैजार्ड इज प्लेइंग वेरी वेल, हैजार्ड अब नहीं खेल सकता, उसका लक कितना खराब है. विनीशियस जूनियर, जस्ट लाइक ग्रेलिश इंप्रूव्ड हिमसेल्फ इन मैन सिटी, ओके, just like Grealish improved himself in Man City under Pep Guardiola, suddenly Vinicius Junior started playing very well. Suddenly, मतलब यार इंसान का फितरत क्या है, you don't know about it man, के क्या फितरत है भाई कि his luck is so damn bad. His luck was with him in Lille, his luck was with him in Chelsea. Why it is the worst decision for him to leave Chelsea and join Real Madrid, and why the Real Madrid fans and toxic fans and the club system destroyed Hazard. Hazard joined Real Madrid because it was his dream to join Real Madrid, and Zinedine Zidane was his idol. But what happened? His performance getting deteriorated day by day, and suddenly Vinicius Junior became a fantastic player, starting improving himself. Rodrigo became a fantastic player. The link-up play is getting worked every time from that time. And even if मिडल प्लेट से उसका इंजरी ठीक हो गया था, बट आई थिंक वल्वार्डे का परफॉर्मेंस अच्छा लगने लगा, फिर आई थिंक उसने 50 गेम खेले होंगे फॉर रियल मैड्रिड, एंड आई थिंक ही जस्ट स्कोर्ड 3 goals in that 50 matches. But trust me, that guy owned man of the match against Eibar and Sociedad, his debut matches in the first 10 matches. Just understand the legacy of a player after coming from Premier League to La Liga. लोग Premier League से La Liga आते हैं, खेल नहीं पाते, totally different tactics, slow pitching, अच्छा सब यार फोकस से गेम चल रहा है, and that man got the MOTM for 2 matches, and after in UCL the second half, मुनियर का वो टैकल, उसका करियर खत्म, वो खेल ही नहीं पा रहा था, एक मैच पे उसने खेल नहीं पाया. Only I think in one match I think Ancelotti उसको एक मैच के लिए लाया था for 90 minutes, but in 2 or 3 years उसको एंचेलोटी ने स्कोप ही नहीं दिया 90 मिनट्स के लिए. 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, only in a single match, and I think it was against Getafe, if I'm not wrong, that he played for 90 minutes. Can you believe it? एक प्लेयर जब ईपीएल से ला लीगा आता है उसको टाइम लगता है सेटअप होने में, उसने आके 2 एमओटीएम मान लिए थे. He got MOTM for 2 matches. I think you should check the net against Eibar or against Real Sociedad. I remember it quite well. क्योंकि मुझे anxiety हो रहा था कि रोनाल्डो गया, अच्छा हुआ, रियल मैड्रिड खत्म, उसने आके वैसा ही परफॉर्मेंस देना शुरू कर दिया था. आई एम सो सॉरी फॉर हैजार्ड. आई थिंक आई एम सो मच सॉरी फॉर दैट मैन. आजकल के लोग ये नहीं जानते, उसका परफॉर्मेंस रियल मैड्रिड गंदा नहीं था, बहुत अच्छा था बिफोर दैट PSG वर्सेस मैड्रिड मैच.
Thank you so much, Anurag Bhai, for these insights. People do go and subscribe to Anurag Bhai Sports Free. You will never get these insights anywhere. For me, on the final note before I end the video, thank you, Eden Hazard, one of the greatest footballer I got the privilege to watch. One of the most genius footballer, one of the most enjoyable footballer with his feet, the way he used to dribble the pass. I will never forget that because that was a pure love of football. Sometimes everything can go down the window. You just want to watch a guy have the football, run with it, and that is a beauty. And with that, I end. Anurag Bhai, your final thing on Eden Hazard before we end? Do you have a message?
I think just like Neymar, they used to say that my papa, I think used to work for TCS that time. उन्होंने अर्जेंटीना पे गया था, and there's a famous quote जो गुआर्डियोला ने बोला था, अर्जेंटीना पे हर जगह लिखा होता था कि we don't know Maradona what you have done for your own life, but we know what you have done for us. I don't know Diego what you have done in your own life, but you have done everything for us. I think every Chelsea fans, guys, you don't have to forget Drogba, you don't have to forget Lampard, बट आई थिंक कभी इसको भूल मत जाना यार, बेईमानी हो जाएगा। ईपीएल क्लब्स का क्या होता है, बेईमानी में ये लोग एक्सपर्ट है। लालीगा क्लब्स ये नहीं करता। आई एम नॉट बीइंग वेरी मच पार्शियल टू लालीगा। रोनाल्डो ने कब का रियल मैड्रिड छोड़ दिया? अभी लोग रियल मैड्रिड वाले रोनाल्डो को ऐसे करते हैं। मेसी ने कब छोड़ दिया? बट आई थिंक पीपल फॉरगेट लेजेंड्स, डोंट फॉरगेट इट, बिकॉज ही हैज डन एवरीथिंग फॉर चेल्सी। क्योंकि चेल्सी का डाउनफॉल शुरू हो गया था आफ्टर विनिंग द यूसीएल। उसने आके चेल्सी का यार यहां पे रखा, 2 यूरोपा, 2 प्रीमियर लीग चैंपियनशिप्स। You shouldn't forget Eden Hazard. I think a prince, just like Neymar, who couldn't be a king. One of my favorite left winger, even if he is a Real Madrid player, I respect him a lot from my heart, and that's why I changed my DP, everything. My community पे दे दिया, even if knowing that my channel is a Barcelona based channel. डर नहीं भाई, उस बंदे को ये रिस्पेक्ट मिलना चाहिए। Underrated king.
Thank you so much, Anurag Bhai. Thank you so much, everyone who joined. Love you all. Respect you all. And last, I will say, thank you, Eden Hazard. We will always love you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please like, subscribe.
I think we should be silent for 10 seconds.